Welcome to this new session of the subject of Harbor Boat Engineering. From today's session onwards, we will be beginning with the new chapter, that is chapter number 4. Now this chapter is the most important chapter from the portion of Harbor Engineering and also the subject as a whole. So let's begin with the first topic, that is breakwater. Now in this chapter we will be studying each and every harbor component with the minutest detail. That is, there will be various sketches, we will be learning various types and further each and every aspect in detail. In previous sessions, in chapter number 2, we have studied the function or use of these harbor components. So now we will be beginning with the detailed study. And the first component which we will be studying in detail is breakwater. Now up to this point we are physically aware as to what is the function or use of breakwater. So basically breakwater is a protective barrier constructed to form an artificial harbor with water area to protect from the effect of sea waves so as to provide safe accommodation for berthing and carrying out further operations. So basically breakwater is at the circumference or the periphery. It is a protective barrier. Why? Because it will dissipate the energy of wind or waves. So it will reduce the impact of wind or waves which are likely to enter the harbor. So it will protect from the effect of sea waves and winds and provide safe accommodation inside the harbor area, that is the sheltered basing for the berthing operation and for carrying out the further operations. So that is the use which we are already aware about. It is a structure which reflects and dissipates the forces of wind generated waves. This point we are already aware about. Encloses harbor and keeps the harbor water undisturbed. So why does it enclose the harbor? Because it is on the circumference or periphery and it will make sure that the harbor water remains undisturbed and remains in calm state. It provides safe anchorage for ships. So basically it makes sure that as the water is undisturbed in calm state, so there can be safe anchorage, that is easily the ships can be tied up inside the harbor. Facilitate loading and unloading of cargo in comparatively calm water. This point also we are aware about. Function of breakwater is to break the momentum of water by means of wave breaker. That is, we will be studying as to how these breakwaters are placed. So they are placed in such a manner basically that voids exist between them, and as the water seeps through these voids, its energy will be dissipated and its momentum will be broken or reduced to make sure that that impact is not transferred inside the harbor. Further, continuing with the breakwater, features of the breakwater. For severe action, it might be constructed of masonry. It is basically constructed of concrete, so made of concrete or coarse stone throughout. Mostly it is constructed of concrete. We will be learning in detail in the upcoming slides regarding breakwaters. Height of breakwater depends upon its purpose, extent of enclosed water area, and nature of existing shipping work. Basically, the height of breakwater will depend upon how much amount of momentum or energy is it supposed to dissipate with reference to wind or waves. To dissipate means to reduce. So, depending upon the momentum of waves, wind, the height will be decided. Also, what amount of extent or what is the area of the enclosed space, that is how much is the basin area which is to be protected, will be another factor governing the height. So height basically is 1.2 to 1.25 times the height of wave expected. So which is generally the amount of height of wave which is expected to be received at that harbor. It will be 1.2 to 1.25 times the height of the wave expected. Superstructure must be designed to withstand over the turning forces due to wave thrust. So as the wave energy will apply thrust on it, so it must be capable to sustain that load which will be generated. Hydrostatic pressure, that is pressure due to the existing water, the water body which will be imparting the force, it should be sustaining that load. And dead weight of the structure, that is the self weight of the structure itself, that is weight of concrete, weight of masonry, whatever it is built of. Again continuing, what are the criteria for weightage of this chapter is also the highest. Firstly, amongst is all the chapters of the subject possible, it is highest. It should make sure that the curves are avoided. So let's begin with this new minimum curvature. In C, the alignment should be such as to reduce the effect of waves, which is ultimately the purpose of breakwater. So that should be built up in such a manner that the alignment is in such a way that it reduces the effect of waves as much as possible. Now, here is an example of breakwater for a single entrance. Now, this is the shoreline which we are already aware about. So, this is a single entrance breakwater. This is the artificial construction, that is breakwater, and here is the single entrance through which the ship will enter the harbor. And here it will, as the wind and waves are from this direction, the breakwater will give the protection to the basin, that is the area which is being sheltered from wind and waves. It will dissipate or reduce the energy of wind and waves at the circumference itself. So this is the view for a single entrance breakwater, that is the entry is provided through a single opening. Again, this is the view for a single entrance breakwater. This is the artificial construction breakwater on the periphery, and this is the entrance. Next is breakwater for two entrances. So as the word two entrances have been mentioned, so into this harbor there will be two entrances. Basically, as there are two entrances, entry and exit can be bifurcated. So this is the breakwater construction, and the entry and exits have been bifurcated or differentiated from the harbor. This is the shoreline, and the wind and wave action is dissipated on this circumference. Dissipated, that is the effect of wind and waves are reduced to maintain the water in calm state inside the harbor. Now next topic is the design process of breakwater. So what are the various stages, what is the various processes or the which we have to follow by designing a breakwater. So below mentioned information are first of all needed. That is, whenever we are designing a breakwater, we need to have certain information. So that includes firstly the character of coastal current. So as we have to mitigate or reduce the effect, so we need to know as to how is the characteristics of the coastal currents at that specific location. Direction and force of winds, as we know the direction of wind is not steady, it will keep on moving. So what is the direction of wind and what is the intensity, what is the force is of that specific wind. So we need to know direction and its intensity, because ultimately we have to sustain that intensity of wind, and depending upon the direction we have to design the alignment of breakwater. Next is the availability and cost of material, that is the material which will be needed for the construction of breakwater. So what is the availability of that material, maybe it concrete, masonry or unfinished stone, and what is the cost of that material. Nature of foundation, because ultimately the load from breakwater will be transferred to the foundation towards the subsoil. So what is the nature of the foundation has to be known. Probable maximum height of waves, that is what is the probable maximum height of waves at that specific location, because we need to design the height of breakwater as per the maximum height of waves, as we have seen in the previous slides. and what is the force and intensity of waves. This point we are already aware. Continuing with the design process, which are the various forces acting on the breakwater? So first is the hydrostatic force, which is the force exerted by the stagnant water on the breakwater. So the force which the water body applies on the breakwater is the hydrostatic force. Next is the wind force, that is from the specific direction, specific intensity and duration of wind. We will get the data regarding the wind force. Basically, we need the data of direction, that is what is the direction of wind, what is the duration, because ultimately we know that the direction of wind will keep on changing. So for a specific direction, what is the duration of wind, and lastly, what is the intensity of wind. Wave action, so ultimately we know that we have to dissipate the energy of waves. So what is the force imparted by wave on breakwaters. Solvent action, now basically solvent action means that action through which the breakwater will get dissolved in the water body. So the meaning of solvent action is to sort of dissolve the breakwater, that is whatever constituent the breakwater is made, that is be it masonry or concrete or unfinished stone, that dissolving of that constituent into water is solvent action. So we need to be aware about the solvent action or the severity of solvent action at that specific site. Next are the sea insects. Sea insects can cause undermining or can damage the breakwater from beneath, that is from the end point. So we need to be aware regarding how much effect or how much impact of sea insects will be on the breakwater. Continuing with the design process, the various stages of construction of breakwater. So the next topic are the stages of construction. First is the pre-feasibility stage, that is what sort of various activities are we going to carry out in this stage. So at feasibility stage, first of all we are deciding as to what is required. That is depending upon the harbor, the situation, depending upon wind, wave energy, currents, what sort of protection is basically needed at that specific harbor. So ultimately what is required. Next is the feasibility stage. Feasibility means basically to check the viability or how much is the project or the construction justified. So first of all we have to collect the suitable data, that is we have already seen as to what sort of information or data are needed with reference to breakwater. So we need to collect all those data. Initial design, that is the basic design of the breakwater. How is that breakwater supposed to be constructed, that we have to sort of plan. Cost and benefit analysis. Already I have explained in the previous sessions regarding benefit by cost ratio. So ultimately we know the construction cost and we are finding out all the benefit in terms of monetary value, and by benefit and cost calculation we can find out how much feasible that particular project or construction is. The stages of construction, there are various stages of construction. So first of all is the detailed design stage. Firstly, further data is collected. In the previous slide we have seen that first of all the basic data is collected, but here all the various data or information are collected in depth. Refined design parameters. So basically we have fixed the design parameters, the various parameters, that is say for example the force or direction of wind, maybe the height of waves. So basically here the design parameters are again defined, is cross-checked as to we have evaluated all the design parameters adequately or not. So that again is sort of we can say screened through the various parameters. Final design, so ultimately depending upon the various parameters which are studied in detail, the final design regarding various aspects such as which is the material to be used for construction, what height have we decided, what is the side slope for breakwater, what is the extent of breakwater, how is the alignment of breakwater supposed to be, and such various aspects. Preparation of drawing and the specifications. So specifications related to materials, specification related to alignment, specification related to execution of work, and basically the drawing, that is the detailed sketch of breakwater. Next is the construction stage. This stage basically deals with the monitoring and maintenance aspect, that is the monitoring of the construction which is being carried out, the supervision work of the construction of the breakwater which is being carried out in the maintenance aspect. Now, one thing regarding the maintenance aspect is that as the breakwater will do the function of dissipating, reducing the energy of wind waves, it will reduce its own durability. Repeating again, talking about the maintenance aspect, as it is carrying out a very important work of dissipation of energy, it will reduce its own durability, and so the frequent or periodic maintenance of that breakwater has to be carried out, because if that isn't done, and if the breakwater has become very less durable, then it will not be able to carry out its function adequately. So that is an important aspect. Next are the factors determining the selection of breakwater. So which are the various factors which will determine as to which breakwater are we supposed to choose. First is the availability of construction material. So basically the material which we have decided or which we want to decide, masonry, concrete or stones, what is the availability of that material in the vicinity, in the nearby area is a very important point. Depth of water, what is the depth of water will have an effect on the type of breakwater being constructed. We will be learning about this point in the upcoming slides. Next is the condition of sea foundation. Now as we know that the load will be transferred, so will that subsoil be able to handle that load? Does it have adequate bearing capacity? That all will have to be known. So the condition of sea foundation of the seabed has to be known for transfer of the load from breakwater. Availability of equipment. Ultimately, while constructing the breakwater, the periphery of or circumference, various equipments, various construction equipments will be needed. So what is the availability of those equipments will also have an effect on determining the selection of breakwater. Talking about this further in the upcoming topic, we will be studying about the various types of breakwater. So those types, various types will be transferring different loads. So in some cases, when high amount of load is transferred, then the sea foundation has to be rock solid for sustaining that load. So basically when that sort of criteria is not satisfied and that much load sustaining soil is not available, then we might have to switch to another type of breakwater. Also in some cases for constructing breakwater, which will be seen, rocks are needed. So for a specific type of breakwater to be suggested or to be recommended, we have to make sure that in the vicinity, in the nearby area, rocks are available. Then and then only we can suggest that type of